conversation that we want to have today, it's about Kanairo, Nairobi. Started, of course, by Rono, made even more popular by Ben Soul. The lyrics speak for themselves. Watoto wako shule. So anyway, yule anakupea, pia ananipea, and people are more bold about it these days. So that's what we want to talk about today. Helping us do that is no, and I practice this. Non-CZ.
Right.
Non-CZ Agnes. Woo, joins us.
You got it right.
I did, sindio?
Yes.
Asante sana. Asante sana kwa kukuja. CJ Atemo is also with us.
Why are you struggling with that name?
I don't know. I think it's the way you save kwa simu. I saved it as non-CZ at the end. Okay. So it's now no-CZ. Non-CZ. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming as well.
Thanks for having me.
Shatterboy is also on his way. You know, it's Shatterboy ni Mduli. So before atoke huko pahali hakuna maji afike itakuwa noma. Oshe dreadlocks, he's on the way. But also on Skype is DNG. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Bwana Willis, mambo vipi?
Kabisa, karibu sana pia. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Asante, shukran.
All right, and this is the question that we're asking you. I don't know kama Joe ashacheza kama but today we're asking Joe kama iko there it is. Is monogamy a reality, or rather it was supposed to be, should we just accept that monogamy is overrated? We'll change it a little bit later on. It should be Joe, angalia ile nimekutumia kwa WhatsApp. Hiyo ndio utaweka hapo. But then it's still basically the same thing. And we're going to start with you, Agnes. In the basis of that song that we've had.
Yeah.
The reason why it's so popular, I think 970,000 views already in just 2 days, is because it's addressing something that has been kind of silent in this our Nairobi. Is that women are becoming more bold when it comes to kutupanga kama wanaume. True or false?
Wow. First of all, let's appreciate that art because it's a song that I think it's speaking the reality that is happening. I'm not sure. Yes. I don't know. I asked on my Instagram, is it the reality that is happening in Nairobi? Is this what that we are experiencing? Because I think I'm in denial. Maybe it's because I'm not in the dating scenes, but I think, is this what is happening in the dating scenes? In that, I mean, women, I think, have always pangered men. It's only that it's not been bold. I think
finally she speaks. She says she's not sure, and then she says, anyway, we've always done it.
I think it's. I mean, you've always had your options. I feel like it's been there, but it's not been said as it is now. I stand to be corrected. Yeah.
CJ, what do you think before you jump to DNG?
Well, I think it's getting bolder, and part of it is the fact that women want to feel that they make decisions about their life. You know, from things like, and it didn't start there, but from things like my dress, my choice, we see women becoming bolder even about their bodies today, and they feel like, look, I'll wear what I want to wear, but that does not give you the right to, either have me or whatever. So even when men will complain, that's too short, that's a bit too revealing, they feel like this is how I feel. And them coming into that element now is also manifesting in other areas of life, including relationship. And I know I have seen discussions in some places where they say, look, you're not going to put on us chastity as women, that a woman is supposed to keep herself, and yet the men can do whatever they want. So if I have the urge to go out, I'll go out because this is me. So there is that element of coming to themselves that is manifesting in a lot of ways right now. Yeah.
Yes, and I like that you say, when you say the men can do whatever they want, so I thought you're going to finish, men can do whatever they want, so help me God. That's what I thought. DNG, what do you think about this whole phenomenon? Because, I mean, Kanairo is Nikunoma. What do you think? Yeah.
First of all, I think we're experiencing a heightened liberation, not just in Nairobi, but across the Republic of Kenya. And I think social media has also added to that conversation, because nowadays, to reach that shorty or that guy that you're looking for, you just need to double tap, you just need to slide into their inbox or their DM and hit them up, and it's working. I also feel like we don't have a moral thermometer, not just amongst young people, but across the republic. We, look at our leadership. What are they showing us? So when you come back to the young people, what else do they have to look up to and say, yo, I want to live life the right way? We do not have any form of leadership. We do not have role models. We do not have examples. So the music that you're talking about is just a reflection of society, which is absolutely true. Walk into a club, to pick a stranger and take a stranger home is all you need to do is buy a beer or a cider or something. Like, there is no struggle, there is no effort. And that is why we're doing this initiative for us, Punguza initiative, which is about trying to get young people talking about their relationships, about sex, and trying to show people that, hey, we can live life better, because there are also risks involved. As much as tunakula raha, ananipatia, nakupatia, there are also risks, and we need to be cognizant of that.
Yeah, so Nonsizi, I said it right. Nonsizi was about to go under the chair when you said all it takes kununua ni kasaida.
A beer. I'm like,
a beer.
Gosh, squeeze it, tunatoka beer. It's that bad.
Shata boy, niliwaambia weni mduli so kabla ufike.
Kuna kajani.
Kuna kajani.
Yeah, man.
So karibu sana.
Muofa, nilikuwa na celebrate Arsenal. Tuko mfika hiyo pande nyingine. Tumefika pande nyingine ya table.
Arsenal is the proverbial song yule anakupea na nipea. Anyway, so team ndogo. But anyway, congratulations on your fluke. So
3-0. Yes.
What we're talking about today.
Yeah, man.
In the context that it is, what are your initial thoughts about the song basically portraying women that they are bolder, I guess, ya kwamba yule anakupea, ananipea, anakula fair na inaendelea hivyo. Na uliwahi sema ukikula fair wewe ni locust. I remember that. Nimekumbuka. But go ahead.
Acha nikwambie, kwa hii society tuligrow tukisema what a man can do,
a woman can do.
A woman can do better. Okay? Wanaume mkaanza tabia hiyo tu, sasa mna complain mademo wanafanya, and they are here doing it better. Inabidi tunaikubali. But anyway, that said, my thinking is hii Kenya tunakuaga na sijui niite culture deficiency syndrome. Kiukweli tu Kenya, I think we have a culture deficiency syndrome pali. Our culture is weak to an extent that any culture that comes to us, sisi inajiattach na inakaa. That is why unapataga tunaabsorb West Africa sana, tunaanza kuongea kama hao kidogo, tunaanza kuongea Lingala, unaget. Hakuna, hatuwezi sema culture yetu ni. So hiki kitu ina happen sasa hivi leo, unaona mademo wamekuwa bold hivyo. Is it happening across the world ama ni Kenya pekee? You get, is it an isolated incident? And if it is it a wave? We have seen waves like this coming and going. Is it a wave or is this one going to stay? So that is my thinking.
CJ, there's a time that I was talking to some young boys and they were heartbroken because they were saying siku hizi wasichana our age mates wanatafuta tu pesa, so now they're going for older men who have the money, and then that leaves us with nowhere to turn. Because I don't know, one day we'll have the conversation about Ben 10's story for another day. But is that such things contributing, or what do you think is the major contributing factor? Because you said that it's just now they are bold. No, it was Agnes here who said that wamekuwa kifanya, so tumekuwa tukipangwa tu na hatujui. I know women are more slick at the thing, but hey.
When we talk about the older men as well, it's not new. We have just been changing the tags that have been used.
Sugar daddy, to sponsor.
To sponsor whatever it is right now. But it's always been there. Because the basic needs of human beings remain the same. How we meet those and how we articulate our needs may be changing. So these needs have been with the women all through. Generally, a woman wants to be taken care of. Generally. When I was growing up, the gap between men and the ladies they married was about 10 years. Today it is you would be like age mates or even have an older lady. But generally those days you find if a girl is 18, then the man is 28. There had to be like a 10-year gap. It shows you that there has always been this need for a woman to be under, to have this father figure, kind of. And I don't want to go too much into that. But you see, generally a husband is supposed to be a father to a wife. He's supposed to be this head, this leader, this provider, this protector. So the roles are they're fatherly, apart from now the romantic part of it. So this has been there over time. But the pressures of life have also intensified now. The economic pressures are also higher now.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure is also crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you've gone to school with this girl, and then tomorrow on Instagram, she's on the streets of Germany and she's doing well. You're thinking, I'm the only one who's not doing well.
Sijafika Ujerumani.
The next person is all over the place, at the coast, every hotel over there, you know, they're on vacation like every week. You're thinking, what's going on with me? So that pressure is also intensifying, and so it is causing this need now to begin determining determine decisions. The need has always been there for them to be taken care of, and it's not anything new now.
It's not anything new. Well, I guess before I jump to DNG, Agnes, let me ask you this, because people always say by the time a woman is cheating, enye umemskuma.
And that's true.
Yeah, umemskuma sana.
And
But
that's
now,
true.
but sasa,
And that's,
but
let's say,
now
That
what is
used to be in the
kumari?
past. In the past, you needed to push them. Today, no.
it's just a little, just a little.
Saizi I'm like,
living
what
now.
is it? Is siku hizi kusukuma inaweza kwa ile WhatsApp ya form. Rada yo shamskuma like yo. Literally there are women who will be hapo kwako kwa nyumba yako. Alafu mtu mwingine mahala akisema babe I gotta go at WhatsApp mazee unajua madhe nini akitoka hapo anaenda kupress. What is happening these days? Tell us the perspective.
Honestly, even me, I don't know. If I
It's a
knew,
phenomenon.
if I knew, I would totally honestly demystify. But I think, and thinking about it, we have too many choices. Unlike back then, when you had to maybe die for this thing, for this, or whatever, it's a relationship or it's a marriage, because, you know, we could be talking in both contexts. Could be a serious relationship. But again, by the time unaulizwa form, unajua naweza kuwa na Willis na bangaiza, na, you know, we are passing time. And that's the problem.
Unaona sasa? Who said, according to me, we are not, sisi si wa kupass time. Wewe shaniweka kwa box.
Bracket ya kupass time.
Sisi ni wa kupass time.
In my head, it's not what I want. I'm looking at you like, Willis, will ataniweza? You know, ata.
Okay, what is the qualifier for you kuweza? What are the points in
Like
terms of?
CJ said, women want. Let me tell you, if anything, women want stability. Do I look?
Is it just a
will I
stable
look
bank
like
account?
I will suffer in your hands?
Is it a stable bank account? Really?
Actually, it's not. To an extent, it's not. A bank account counts, or rather, financial stability counts. But again, are you a visionary and you look like you'll be able to take care of me? You'll be able to take care of. Because let me tell you, suffering is not our portion.
Why is it looking like it is men's portion? DNG, what do you think about this? That you know, that little push to go over the edge. You know, is it what's going on?
First and foremost, wacha tukubali madem wa Kenya sahi wako tayari sana. And now when you mention
who are you interacting with?
Woman is just looking for form. It is true. Look at it this way. Look at the weekends, man. If you don't do your booking by Tuesday or Wednesday,
Do your booking.
line up ni kubwa. Kuna Shatter Boy, kuna Ratemo, kuna Willis, kuna Nani, kuna DNG, kuna mwingine. And what that shows is that there's also a lot of idleness. And what idleness does is that it just leaves women just available for any Tom, Dick, and Harry to step in and say, yo, bana, Mara this weekend, ama yo, bana, niya just to the Naivasha, ama ka road trip, ama ka house party. That is what is happening in our scenario. I also agree with Bonaratemo because if you look at our society today, peer pressure is at the top of our highlight, you know. And I feel like likes on social media have become a basic need. Like a lot of people are out there chasing clout. So it's all about impressing your peers with lifestyle. Look what my boo bought for me. Look where he took me this weekend. And we never see this boo, Maze. It's like some invisible who,
the boo is always is the work of Jesus.
It's the work of Jesus, a miracle. Really, sometimes you can see a tattoo. All the woman wants to show is this tattoo, because Nairobi ni jiji ndogo, ni bedroom ndogo, so wezi jua una post husband wa nani ama baba wa nani.
Na ukipatikana hiyo tattoo unasema ai, si tattoo zinafanana.
Alafu kuna kaforum kengine pale, watu ni ma-investigator.
That is why that is why Nyashinsky said paparazzi wanafanya ngumu kufanya usherati. That's what Nyashinsky alisema. Shatta boy.
Yeah, man.
Do you agree with Agnes ya kwamba enyewe stability ndo wanatafuta?
Hapana. Hawatafuti stability. Wanajinau. Rona hata kitu DNG amesema ati wako available. I'm of a contrary opinion kidogo. I think madem sasa wako na uwezo. Zamani madem alikuwa disadvantaged in the sense that hawakuwa na hizo opportunity, hawakuwa na job, hawakuwa na dough. Hata wakienda club maybe ni boy angebuy beer, unaget, ni boy angebuy drinks, ni boy atalipa cab aende home. But right now wako na hiyo uwezo. Sawa. So whatever you want to do they can do. Actually ukiangalia sasa hivi madem wengi wanafunga maboy. Ukienda club dem ndo anataka kulipa, mwende kwake. They are doing those things. Why? Because they can. And when ni hao wanaifanya, you will do it in their own terms, not the other way around. Say when you end una call shots, atakupeleka na rien. Sawa, na ikiwezekana asubuhi kupatia fare kuambia step. Sawa. It's because
ushangae.
Yes, wako na uwezo. So right now ni kufanya vitu, unajua, at the risk of kusound kama nachoma. Hii society ile time iliamua kuempower girl child, kuna watu wali hijackiwa agenda, wakaonesha girl child kukuwa empowered ni kukuwa mwanaume. Sawa. Kuna watu wali hijackiwa agenda, and right now girl child inherit tabia za mwanaume mzuri na mbaya. Sawa. So hakuna venye angechukua tabia za mwanaume mzuri pekee, wamechukua hata hizo mbaya. That is why unaona hiki kitu inahappen sasa hivi, mnashangaa buda ama dems wamekuwa bold sana. No, they're just doing what we do because they have seen it and they've been told hiyo ndio kujinau. Sasa hivi tumekubali tu. Hii Nairobi is a bedroom.
A small bedroom.
And you have to
add the word small.
You have to live in this Nairobi ni kama unajua kwa hiyo bedroom.
But my question is, when fine, empowerment is good.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, it's good by the way, because if you're not empowered as a woman, there are things that you will submit to because let me say, especially if you're not financially empowered.
Especially even in extreme cases, FGMs and marriage.
Empowerment is good, but at what point did it get and it became it became toxic? Because for me this sounds like toxicity relationship kind of thing that is going on. At what point where did we lose our track? When did we allow that today I can come, nipe Willis, nipe Atemo, nipe nini na nimeoniwa pa? At what point?
Na mnakuwa mnakunywa tu hapo kwa meza, lakini kila mtu hapa ako na story yake.
Tu yani hapa tunaweza
mnashinda tu mkiangalia simu.
At what point did we allow this? Even you as a lady, at what point do you feel it's okay? I want to know where. And I feel like I think I don't know if it's upbringing. Maybe Atemo can help us. Were we brought up by a different generation? What is going on? What are we learning? I would even hear. Yeah.
As we answer that question, there is I don't know if kama Joe umecheza na kiwewe na question of the day. Wake up with you. There you go. Should you then accept that monogamy is overrated? SMS 22422. Joe utanisaidia kuangalia na Ibra wa Kibra. Then the hashtag is Daybreak, and you can also tag at Citizen TV Kenya. Those should you then accept, based on easy conversation, that monogamy is overrated? And remember, we are not advocating. We are just asking the question. SMS 22422. Hashtag is Daybreak, and at Citizen TV Kenya. CJ, what Nancy is asking, at what point is it that is it that we took for granted, as men were being men, we took for granted that udemi atakwanga tu, so let's just go and do our thing, and they are there until one day they realize, wait a minute, two can play at this game. Is that what happened, do you think?
As she was speaking, I'm just thinking of how whenever you come from one extreme, you are most likely to swing to the other extreme. Because you want to prove a point to yourself, you want to prove a point to the people who kept you in that form of bondage or whatever it was. That's why you will see when a woman comes out of a relationship that she felt was toxic, I mean, she'll post about 10 times how she's free in a day. She'll be talking about how she's enjoying her singlehood and all of that. She's trying to prove a point over there. So she goes to the other extreme. Sometimes they're not even healed. They're trying to convince themselves that they're healed, because when you're healed, you don't even have to do all of that stuff. But I think they move from one extreme to the other, where they were deprived and denied. And then they get to the place where they feel like, I can actually get everything that I want. So when Nonsense says stability and Shatter Boy refuses, the truth is the two converge, because today the woman looks at stability in variety, not in one person. So she's looking at, I want to go and hang out, I go with Shatter Boy. Then I need money, I get Willis. Then I need to go into a social function, I find this person. So this whole variety.
Social function is DNG.
Also, when there's a concert,
yes,
you know, now the government has banned gatherings.
Yes, yes.
But at the time when there were events, that's when the inboxes are flooding. Hi. Complimentary VIP, Nini. There are those guys. And,
for the
women are very compartmentalizing and saying that this guy is the guy for solace and peace. Another guy is the guy for smashing. And which brings to the question of the day. This is relationship protocol. What is a relationship? So as a generation, have we defined what a relationship is?
That's right, yeah.
Because smashing any chile or any guy you meet is not being in a relationship, isn't it? So I think the reason why we have this quagmire today is because as young people, we haven't defined relationships. We do not value relationships. And that's why you just move from person X to Y to Z without flinching. But you know, these things catch up with you, Bana. We're not getting any younger. And the sooner we realize that, settle down, the better. So I feel like we should also be championing positive living and being responsible. That having fun is not equivalent to just moving from partner A to B, because at the end of the day, what do you really gain and what do you build? So I think that's a conversation that we need to steer through the right way.
CJ, yes.
Yeah, you know, as he raises that what is a relationship today, I think for most people, they're feeling like they need to prioritize themselves. And that's a conversation you will hear ladies talk about a lot.
Is it bad?
No.
Okay.
Don't be defensive.
You should have seen, I wish the camera ilishika
She took over the show.
She was like, is it bad?
Is it bad? Prioritize me.
No, it is not.
Thank you,
But
Ibra.
you see, with every new space we come into, we also must learn the rules and the responsibilities that come with that. Otherwise, we find ourselves in the place of extremes. So that now when somebody says, I need to prioritize myself, sometimes they do that at the expense of everybody else. They don't think of how their decisions affect other people. So they will feel like, I'll be with Willis, I'll be with DNG, I'll be with Shutterboy, I'll be with CJ, I'll be with all of this because my happiness comes first. So, but for a relationship to work, there's got to be an element of sacrifice.
Well, yes.
Now, most ladies make decisions based on what they saw happening to their mothers, and they're trying to move away from that completely. Like, I'm not going to suffer the way I saw my mother, whatever. So they make decisions and they are throwing away the baby with the bathwater. There were very good elements of how our mothers were in those relationships, but now the empowered girl thinks everything about their mother was wrong. So they're throwing away all of that and feeling like I need to do something completely different. But you know what? Nonsense. There's nothing new under the sun.
All things are just working. Shata.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure ikifika hiyo mama the upbringing uko very passionate. What do you have to say?
Acha leo nisikuwe passionate. Sababu sitaki kuchoma.
Choma.
But acha nikwambie Big Willy, thinking yangu pia, another thing tunafaa kuconsider sisi wote ni vitu watu wana consume kwa market, matters industry, entertainment and news. What content iko sexualized and that is the truth. Hata commercials zamani sisi tukigrow, ungeona watu wakikiss kwa TV, ungefunga macho ama uamke uende wazazi wakiwa hapo. Sawa. Today ukiwa na mtu yuko hao, scene ya kissing happen, hata amka, it's a normal thing. Dunia ina change, una get.
But zamani pia kulikuwa na zile ads za kuvalisha umbrella condom, zile sema na mimi mtu hata mchezo kando.
Okay. Ungeiocha na wazazi?
Okay. Mimi hata Bold and the Beautiful ilikuwa inafika
unaamua kando step, una get. But sasa ina happen.
Yeah.
Hizo unapata hata kuna movie ati watu wadogo kuna boyfriend girlfriend, things are sexualized, hadi dress code, una get, una feel ni kama pia chakula watu wanakula ina produce itagwa testosterone. Yani it is all over.
The gas in the food.
Yeah man, it's just all over. But that said, Big Willie, relationship as it is needs to be redefined. You get, you people are getting into a relationship expecting to get things that haziwezi happen sahi. With the way dunia iko, kuna watu walikuwa wanakandamizwa ndio relationships zikue. Sahi hawakandamiziki. Sawa. Na wewe una feel your territory is being raided. You want to protect it. For that reason unashundoka kwa hiyo relationship. A relationship right now as it is needs to be redefined. And people need to be taught a new way into relationships. Due the way it was zamani, right now it's not working. That is why the divorce rate iko this high. Una get, vile ilikuwa zamani sasa haiwaka. Kuna vitu ungefanya as a man you would expect ukirudi kwa hao shughulike na wife yako because ako kwa hao. Sasa she is working. Ukirudi home she won't do that. Utajam because you saw it happening ukigrow. So ukijam, what do? Hata kwambia wewe fanya hivi, wewe ndo utafute mtu mwingine uishi naye hivyo, si ndio? Na wewe uone ni sawa. Utoke utafute mwingine, bado itafail tu. Na but imeharibika relationship. The point is the upbringing that we had during that time is not the upbringing that is today, and is not the relationship that is today. You get, unless you get someone that you grew up together, mde mnatoshana, so aliona maisha kama wewe.
Blanda.
Una get,
mbona ni blanda?
Kama washachukuliwa na wazazi. Washachukuliwa na wazazi. So saa hii ukienda utafuta dem young, trust me, hamta relate. Juu yeye anajua relationship in a different angle bila wewe unaijua.
Yeye anajua kistyle ya meja gari aliomba Monique.
Yes.
Keja akaomba
jirani. No, but
jirani.
also when CJ was talking about, okay, Willis will take me out, Shatterboy will do this. I remember our last conversation. We said that we don't expect this man to have everything, right? Like,
okay, vile umeni point sikijako. So this
okay,
man is a person.
A man to, I mean, or rather, it's unfair even to expect. Actually, it's both ways. Even to expect a woman to be literally everything. So I feel like the point that we are missing is the point of sacrifice. People do not want to sacrifice, but I'm not saying you kill yourself. Hey, this life, I can't kill myself. Don't kill yourself, but there are things that you will lose for you to gain something. But is the person that I am sacrificing for worth? I think that is the question.
That's the question. DNG, you talked about almost the same thing that Non-Cizi is saying. Wait, Mungu ni mwema. That Agnes is saying here. The fact that, people need to realize that at some point you're gonna have to stop. So is that what you're talking about in terms of the sacrifice? And when do you know it's the time? When do you know? Because I don't know if I can use this word in the morning. Everybody has a phase. You know the one I'm talking about. It's a farm tool. Everybody has that phase. When do you say, I'm serving notice to the streets, I'm done? Yes.
Yo, Willis. In fact, they call it the HOE phase.
Yeah, there you go.
But
we are talking about the farm tool for Ezekiel's purposes. Yes.
Yeah, and Willis Bana, even the Bible says, man, that when you're young, you make decisions based on your youth and based on what you know. But as you grow older, as you become more mature, you need to step up and make better choices. And yeah, the young person is all about experimenting and trying this, and peer pressure checks in, and sometimes you make decisions not because it's what you want, but it's what seems cool at the time, and it's what people are doing, say in your uni or in your mta. But for those of us who are getting a bit more mature and older, step by step, day by day, we need to make better choices. And I think that as Non-Cizi said, there must be sacrifice. relationships are pretty difficult, but and I think there's something about Kenyans that we give up so easy. Even if you find that when we're agitating for political change and better leadership, it trends, and then after some time we forget and we move on to the next thing. So we're quitters. And instead of quitting, we need to keep working at this relationship, because nothing is going to be perfect ever. Life is up and down. If it's just steady, that means you're dead. Hata hospitali lazima ikuwe kupumua na kupuliza ama namna gani wale, sio mama. So what we're saying is that we need to make better choices as young people, and we also need to value family, because relationship is about family. If you look at the onset, many families are broken, many families come from difficult backgrounds, but we cannot shift the blame to our parentage. What we need to do is say that, hey, I want to be better. Mimi kwa nyumba yangu nitakuwa naishi namna hii. And I think instead of looking for satisfaction in person X, Y, Z, and then A, B, C the next week, we should focus all our energy on one person. It's actually sweeter, it's safer, it's less risky, it's
less drama. The drama. Don't forget the drama.
No, when you're dealing with 5 partners, the drama is to the power of 5.
Yes. Drama, no, for when it is 5 partners, it is power 10. You don't understand, it's dangerous. Shata, you had a question.
Nimeuliza vile tunaishi sahi na vile hao wanajinau. Nani amesema it's bad?
Oh, you're okay with
the
setup?
Yes.
Oh,
how?
wow.
Why?
Because that is what we are, and that is where we are.
So how do we move from there?
What do you mean? We live life. We live life. Even though let me tell you something.
Yes.
There is a mistake that people try to do. We try to force the history of yesterday to be the history of tomorrow. So, which is a lie. A history of yesterday cannot be, it's not a must. And if life is changing, every dynamic of life is changing, why shouldn't relationships change? Your life, my friend, as it stands, ukitaka kukaa na dem saa hivi vile ilikuwa zamani, haitawezekana. You will live a miserable life. Utajichukia.
But ukikaa zamani
shut up, boy. Let's be honest.
Utashindana na makasiriko.
The models of cars are changing, but the dynamics are the same. The basic dynamics remain the same. There are certain fundamental laws that will govern how the car operates, that will govern how the cameras operate, that will govern how the aeroplane operates. And so even relationships have certain basic dynamics. So the model may change a bit, maybe how we communicate, maybe how we reason, maybe the amount of space we give each other, but there are certain things that must remain basic, and one of them is respect.
Yes.
We can't say now today we can throw away respect because that's old-fashioned. We cannot throw away things like sacrifice, which Nonsense was talking about. Both sides have to make sacrifices, because if I only think about myself and what I want, what if my partner does not have the whole package of what I want? What if their personality, their preferences does not fit into certain other things that may be my fetish? I may be wanting to go out a lot, and that's not their thing. Do I leave them because they don't club?
Or you may want 50 shades of grey.
Yeah.
And they only know one color.
So do I leave them? So it's the 80-20 rule, where
if 80 is,
you're going to have to look at, okay, they don't have everything.
Yes.
But I can live with what they have. So I will sacrifice the rest.
The 20.
Sasa nikuulize basi. Let me ask. Umesema kuna vile relationships zinakuaga, si ndio? Kuna vitu lazima zibaki, si ndio?
Yeah.
Ziliandikwa na nani?
The author.
People that set those things for us. Yes?
But you see,
meaning also we are also people that can set those things for other people. Okay, the people that set those rules, and kuishi vile unaishi, respect is relative. It's not that it is written somewhere this is how to respect someone. Okay, it is relative according to me. Therefore, my thinking is, hizo rules ziliekwa na watu tuishi nazo. Pia sisi tutawekea watu wenye wanakuja rules waishi nazo.
Sasa Kanairo tu watu endelee tu.
We have some feedback before we watu endelee tu kujinawo.
Watu wajinawo.
Let's take some feedback.
I've got the right of reply.
Okay,
to shut
go
up,
ahead.
He's on national TV.
Go ahead.
You see, when you say those rules were written by people, and so they don't hold. Again, I'll go back into the examples I gave. The medicine we use in hospital, who invented those? Who came up with them? People. So do we say we don't take medication because people came up with that? No. We would not be wise to throw away knowledge or wisdom just because we think it's people.
Okay. Let's take some feedback. I'm told there's some 4 tweets. Ibro Kibra cheza kama wewe. Monogamy died a long time ago. It's per person sharing narrative today in Kanairo.
More life.
Huyo ni Barnabas. Sorry, I can't see the name sana. Don't panic, eh? Ibra acha tu ni simama kidogo. All right, so Barnabas Simi. Okay. So next is Opija N. Kanairo is either utekwe, utekane, ama utekwe. That is mambo ya meja. Roy Kipruto too. Yeah, so much. How would you expect other ladies to survive and men are not satisfied with one? Let people do their thing. And that is a man who says that, you know. That Mwaniki Morris and some women are looking for stability in variety. Now I get it. Keho Mwangi. Monogamy is overrated and the Bible is the moral thermometer. Okay. I guess we'll have to explain that one. Because I think yeye anatumia ule bro wetu alikuwa anaitwa Solomon. Vile aliishi akasema mambo alikuwa na kikanairo yake hiyo time. That's just some of the feedback there. It's interesting to see since the men say wadem siku hizi, it's like tumesema hivyo ndo wadem wako.
Sorry?
It's easy to see men even talk about it na kusema by the way wanawake ni per person sharing.
Yeah. There's one thing that I saw that and I'm like, surely, okay, fine. I am, Genji said one thing, and the availability is brought about by idleness. So I don't know at what point did we become idle. I think in your early 20s you're idle. Why not focus on improving yourself? Because the minute as a woman you improve yourself, you empower yourself, you stand a high chance of getting a man who is equally empowered and financially empowered more. So the more I feel like, I don't know if we miss the essence of, I'm looking for the word, mentoring. Have the people who've gone ahead us not mentored us in that kind of way? Because the minute, let me say like this, low risk investment, low risk return. So if you invest in yourself more, the minute you will want someone who is more, it will come with more. Am I making sense?
Yes,
so
yes.
When you're available to go everywhere, okay, fine, it's good, because again, if you don't do those things then utajikutanga tu in your 40s in the marriage. So it's about balance. I don't know.
I wanted to say something about that. Sorry for interjecting, but I don't really think it is idleness. It is appetite.
Okay.
It is appetite. It is not just girls who are not working who are doing this. Even those who are busy with their careers.
What time do you have?
Oh my goodness.
We had a conversation on Hot Happy Hour, Shutterboy, Igunza, Bensu, and we had some ladies over who are saying that, by the way, mimi nikiamka hata kama naenda kazi yangu ninajua leo Shutterboy ndo nampea.
With what energy?
Leo, so ta squeeze in ka lunch break.
Yes.
Ta squeeze in ka after 5. Hey, it's tight in this Nairobi.
So I think it's the appetites of the people.
Yeah.
And if you really want something, you will get it.
DNG, what do you think is feeding this appetite?
I think first and foremost, manze, ni venye watu wako, the moral as thermometer, as Shutterboy was insinuating, is at an all-time low. Hakuna morality. Ukiangalia hata kanisa, pastor na chafua Buddha, anaangalia wale watu wanatoa tithe na pita nao. Who is the source who's going to be the source of morality in this generation? I think that's number one. Number two, if you add idleness plus what Ratemo has said, appetite, hiyo ni shida sasa ile kubwa kabisa, because somebody who is idle alafu akona appetite ya juu. Those are the women who are in people's houses today, 1 week they are patikani nyumbani, there's a missing person report being filed by the mother. They're trending. Have you seen my sister? Have you seen my sister? The next week they're in another person's digs. That's what's happening, man. And you find that kama sahi, the only thing that imejaribu kupunguza hii mambo ya ratchetness na kuchotana right, left and center ni Uhuru Kenyatta. And let me explain. When the curfew took place, curfew umeambia watu by 10 manze, ukipatikana kwa barabara either unafungwa, unasign BBI ama unatoa tithe. So, you know, hiyo appetite na kulimana na kuchotana imepungua kidogo. So logistics pale ndio ina come in place. Okay, nitatoka kazi saa ngapi, nitaingia kwa Willy saa ngapi, nitachotwa nirudi saa ngapi nyumbani by 10 p.m.
Ama nikuje tu nyumbani time ya hapo ka 9:45. Is when I show up kwa Willy.
You know what I'm saying? So the winner in this COVID scenario has been the family. Because wamama wale wameolewa wanakaa nyumbani, wanaume wale wameoa wanakaa nyumbani. So asante sana Bwana Rais kwa kutufungia nchi.
But on the other side, Shataboy, the other thing that has happened as well is during the COVID, if you we've seen a lot of things in terms of, you know, mental breakdown, relationships, etc. So it's also coming to terms with, as the late Michael Jackson would say, the man in the mirror. Or in this case, the woman in the mirror, or the women in the mirrors. Yes, what do you think?
Thinking yangu ni ati unaona madem na hizo vitu wanadu hawafanyi peke yao. It also means the man is available for this to happen. The man is also available, okay? Or the men in this instance. Well, the men. But let me tell you, sisi tukigrow, our parents were worried for us. They were walikuwa nafikiria we are a lost generation. Like hao watatokea wapi? Hizi nini wanafanya? Hizi ni nguo gani wanavaa? Hizi ni wimbo gani wanaimba? Kina Manyakezi kiimba.
The famous watoto wa siku hizi.
Yes. Una get? But here we are, we turned out not so bad. Hata kama sio poa, hatuko mbaya sana. We are somewhere. You get? So hata hii generation inakam, tukisema sasa ati to deal na girl child pekee tumwambie cheki kanyaga breaks kidogo, na boy child hujamwambia kanyage breaks. You see, hii kitu what we can do is talk. You see the way we talk? Wenye wanasikia wasikie. Hao wengine hiyo appetite inafika tu pale, hata ukiwa na njaa aje unakulaga unashiba. Sawa sawa. Hiyo appetite yao watashiba tu. Alafu watulie. Hakuna pali wanapotea. Hii tuko wote tu vile wazazi wetu walikuwa worried. Ni vile mtu ajuangi anazeeka. Sisi ndo tumezeeka sasa hivi. Sasa ndo tuko worried nao wana grow. Nguvu inatoka wapi?
By the time the appetite settles,
it might be too late.
The damage to the other person. You know, the other week I had somebody talking to me, and this is a couple, and this guy said he cannot even just go into the bathroom. He's very paranoid. He's very paranoid. He just thinks that this lady will go out with anyone, so he cannot even go to the bathroom without locking the door. So you can imagine. Well, whether it is true or not is a different case. But if you have somebody who has that kind of appetite, let me say, by the time they settle, the damage that has been done is huge.
Yeah. And last time we also talked about, you know, carrying that thing. So there are women who will get hurt by somebody, not fix it, go and look for stability in DNG, not fix it, look for stability in Shatta, not fix it. By the time they are meeting Willis, oh my God.
You're suffering the sins.
I am suffering the sins of my father's fathers to the 4th generation. We have some SMS feedback as well. Let's take a look at that. All right, anaitwa Kenya ana watch from Eldoret, anasema I want you to know sio Kanairo tu, hata huku LD ni kunoma, but mali safi and the chain hii sisi huita Chura Society. All right, huyu amesema tu any viewer, kama wewe iko na pesa hakuna sida na wewe. Anthony Savioga kutoka Viga, Malai. You should remember, we are God's creatures and obliged to adhere to his guidelines in life, which also include in Ecclesiastes, drink and make merry and enjoy the wife of your youth. Anyway, Oleken Kanarok, emphasis mine. Oleken Kanarok says, the truth is men are naturally polygamous. Even animals exhibit the same. Where? Shatuita maumbwa. Viewer, any relationship without God in it is fake and cannot last. The principle will never change. Okay, is that the last one? So I sit. Yes. Any relationship, and CJ, while the viewer has a point, and it is true, I also feel like it is blank statements like this that become a little bit misleading. Because there are Christians who are struggling in their relationships as well.
A lot, majority.
Yeah. You have to work it. If you're a Christian, you don't pray for your car. You take it for service. You still have to take it to the mechanic, change the oil, change whatever needs to be changed. That's the same thing even with marriage and relationships. There are needs that people will have. Emotional needs, which you cannot pray about. Physical needs.
I feel like saying, preach, brother.
You can't pray at all. I pray that you'll be satisfied.
Yeah.
You have to work.
Physical, sexual needs that sometimes now with those cases people are not very comfortable. I think one of the challenge, especially for people who have spent a lot of time in church when they have been young, is for so many years you've been told sex is sin, then you're coming into this relationship and now it's supposed to be good overnight, and so you find people don't know how to behave even in their marriages. So some people are deprived because from childhood they were told it was sin. So she has kept herself. Then she comes into this marriage, and then this man, men have always been ready.
Yeah, man.
Men have always been ready. So this person now has to make the switch in here, and this man will begin to feel deprived. All of those kind of scenarios as well. So, yeah.
All right, so I want to wrap it up. Polo DNG, we'll start with you. We have about 2 minutes left. What do you think, in your view, is the way forward in terms of getting to a place where there is some semblance of normalcy?
First and foremost, I like that proposal by the viewer who says that relationships need to be founded in God. That is true, bana. Mungu ndo anasaidia. Mungu ndo anafanya hata watu kupunguza. Mungu ndo anafanya watu kutulia, bana Willis. You're saying when is the time to throw in the towel? I think Mungu anakuambianga. I think God speaks to your spirit and tells you, bana, unapotea. Ama brings about different things that bring chaos to your life. So as you're trying to unravel that chaos, realize, hey, kumbe mimi ndio nilikuwa nimesababisha hii shida yote. And also, as we chat our way forward as a young people, we need to think about the consequence of all our decisions. As you're chopping this chile, as you're cooling person X, Y, Z, there is, man. And as the Shatabo was saying, Banati, let guys do what they want to do. I don't think it's the right way to encourage the generation, because the STIs, no one has talked about that. What wanachomeka huku nje unadhani ni
wanaweza kuwa na shiriki na wamevaa kondo wasipate STI.
Okay. Kuna hata ile heartbreak that
okay, there you go. Yes.
The heart. You know, like what pain are you giving to your partner when they realize how you're misbehaving and what you're doing? You know, it's wrong, and I think once we realize that we've been doing the wrong thing, we need to step up and be better. Tusisahau pia ukedi iko, tusisahau pia unwanted pregnancies are there, man. Hakuna haja upate watoto ambao uko unataka na mtu ambaye uko unataka, then ni kutoa mtoto 10,000 kwa clinic pale chini ya maji. You know, it's those things are avoidable, and that's what we are all about as Punguza Nation.
All right, Shata
Wagwan. Mimi nasema hivi, hii generation ina grow. Nilikwambia siku nyingine wanafikiria watu walizaliwa wakiwa watu wazima. Hakuna siku mtu yako atafikiria at some point ulikuwa mtoi. But if you are a young person and you want to get into a relationship now, know what you're getting yourself into. Jua unaingia kwa relationship na nani, akona values gani za relationship, ni same na zako. If no, jua kama unaingia kujiumiza. If yes, good for you. Do your research. Wacha ukimbilia relationship iko tu hapo, na hata akienda ende mwingine hakuwa wako, you'll get someone else. Just do your research before you get into a relationship to avoid heartbreak. Alafu before that happens, everyone in this sema Kanairo, but msawili pia amesema ina happen, anyone everywhere, please, kama wewe ni youth, jiambie we are living in one bedroom. and start living like you're in that. Take care of yourself, please. Okay? More fire.
Right.
And CZ.
So I think I would want to borrow from something that Atemo said. It's about the limits. Whatever you're doing, please know the limit, because I'm not saying we should not go out there and have fun and enjoy the wife of your youth. And if you decide, if you decide you want to settle down early, probably in your early 20s, it's not a bad thing. Like Shataboy has said, know what you are getting into. Rarely are you mature when you're young. And these relationship things are things that need a level of maturity. Even some of us look back and you're like, hey, how did we handle this? Because it needs a certain level of maturity that I don't think you have when you are young. So if you decide to do it, have their limits. And I'm sure you will know when you feel,
as much as possible. So there's no need to keep on going out there looking for everyone who has something that I feel I need, because the truth is there'll always be somebody who makes you feel a certain way. There'll always be somebody who is better, always be somebody who has more money, always be somebody who's more exciting out there. You have to just make up your mind and say, okay, I'm going to work with this that I have. But that does not mean that you shouldn't enjoy it as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to everybody for coming through. Really appreciate all the feedback. Also, all of you guys who've been talking to us online. So many of them still there that we couldn't get, but we'll say asanteni sana. A big thank you to DNG. Make sure you follow him at DNG Kenya across all platforms. And you can also follow at Shatta_boy. Yeah. On Instagram, Shatta Tikitaka. On Twitter, and also catch him on Radio Citizen every day 10 to 1. Non-CZ Agnes on Instagram, Agnes Non-CZ on Twitter, yes? All right. Bas, and Mimi ni Badman Willow anyway, sorry, it is just at Willis Naburu. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, the takeaway is that we have to keep talking. Most people have said that. Keep talking, keep finding out what it is you want, keep researching, keep knowing what it is you're getting yourself into. And at the end of the day, any relationship, wewe na yeye ndo mutakaa chini muandike constitution yenyu. Mukiandika constitution mpatane nyinyi mutakuwa watatu. Si ni nyinyi tu, sisi tutakuwa hapo. Sisi sahi after hii tunaenda makwetu. So it's all about you and what you want. And remember, you're divine, you're worthy, and you deserve the best. Peace.